Hello students. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic which is called accelerated motion. This topic belongs to class 9 physics. So what is accelerated motion? So before we discussing accelerated motion, you have to know about two topics. That is basically speed and velocity. What is speed? Speed, you know that if change of distance. Okay, suppose if you are moving from this point to this point, this is the distance you have covered. Suppose you have taken a time t, then speed will be distance by time. This is called speed. But the problem is that you cannot, already know that you cannot find directly the speed. So in this case, we have to use the average speed. Average speed means what? Suppose you are moving from this point to this point. The formula will be, speed formula will be total distance you have covered divided by total time you have taken. সেইটো কি বুলি কোৱা হয় এভাৰেজ স্পীড বুলি কোৱা হয় এভাৰেজ স্পীড মানে কি হয় গোটেই জাৰ্নিটোত এটা হোল জাৰ্নিত কিমান ডিসটেন্স তুমি ট্ৰেভেল কৰিলা you have to divide that distance by taken time jiman time loisa by that time you have to divide that distance so that is called speed and what is velocity same velocity is basically speed but with direction so velocity is basically called speed with direction speed with direction is called velocity so this is the topic of velocity and speed so what is average speed average speed is total distance covered by total time taken clear same velocity if you find average velocity then you can find by this formula also you can find by say average velocity v average is equal initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Suppose you are moving from point A to point B. You have a velocity here 20 kilometer per hour. Here you have velocity say 40 kilometer per hour. So what will be the average velocity? Average velocity will be the sum of these two 20 plus 40 divided by 2. 20 plus 40 60 by 2 30 kilometer per hour will be your average velocity. So this is the topic speed and velocity. By using this topic we can learn about accelerated motion. So what is accelerated motion? You already learned what is velocity. Velocity is basically the displacement traveled by time taken. The displacement you have traveled divided by time, it is called velocity. So accelerated motion, when you say that a body is in accelerated motion, so you have to say when velocity is changing. When velocity is changing, then motion of the body is called accelerated motion. Okay, যেতিয়া velocity কিবা এটা অবজেক্টৰ velocity বাইক চলাই আছে বাইকৰ যেল এক্সিলাৰেটৰ বুলি কিয় কয় যে velocity আমি এনেকৈ চেঞ্জ কৰিছো এনেকৈ দিলে ইনক্ৰিজ বা ডিক্ৰিজ if that change occurs সেই চেঞ্জটো যেতিয়া আহিব সেই চেঞ্জটোক কয় accelerated motion বুলি ফেলে ঠিক আছে changing velocity is termed as the accelerated motion so if the change is constant okay if the change is constant then that change of velocity is called uniform acceleration uniformly accelerated motion uniformly accelerated motion means when velocity change is constant that means in a unit time at a time interval in a time interval if the velocity changing uniformly when you represent in graph it looks like this one uniform means at same time same amount of velocity is changing time suppose in 1 second first 1 second velocity is suppose 2 meter per second in 2 second velocity suppose 4 meter per second in 3 velocity suppose 6 in these cases the acceleration the body is said to be in accelerated motion or uniformly accelerated motion if change in velocity is not constant মানে velocity change to same নহয় কেতিয়াবা accelerator বেছিকে দিছো গাড়ীত কেতিয়াবা কমকে দিছো বাইকত সাধাৰণতে তো তেতিয়া কি হ'ব হেতু ক'ব non-uniformly accelerated motion মানে তাৰ গ্ৰাফডাল তুমি এনেকৈ ক'ব পাৰা কেতিয়াবা বাঢ়িছে কমিছে এনেকুৱা টাইপৰ It's non-uniformly accelerated motion. So this is the topic of acceleration basically. Now, how can you define acceleration? Acceleration, you can define the rate of change of velocity in a unit time. The rate of change of velocity in a unit time is called acceleration. So basically, how can you define acceleration? Acceleration is defined as the change in velocity in, or you can say per unit time. So acceleration is defined as the change in velocity per unit time, or you can also write the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. So acceleration, it is termed as small a. Acceleration, the definition you can write change in velocity divided by time taken. This is the definition of acceleration. So change in velocity divided by time taken. So A, change in velocity means what? Final velocity minus initial velocity. Change of something. Change মানে কি হয়? Suppose কিবা এটা বস্তু change মানে তাৰ বেছিটোৰ পৰা কমটো বা কমটোৰ পৰা লিমিট দুটা মাইনাস কৰিব লাগে. Okay, suppose the object is changing from this to this position, the change you have to find by subtracting from this to this. And ইয়াৰ পৰা এইটো মাইনাস কৰি আমি কি উলাব পাৰো? Change to উলাব পাৰো. So A equal to change in velocity means the final velocity minus initial velocity, it is divided by time. So this is the definition of acceleration. What is the SI unit? SI unit of acceleration. So basically acceleration is defined, it is velocity by time. You can say it is difference of velocity, but unit will be the velocity of velocity. So the unit of velocity is meter per second. Unit of time is second. So it will be meter per second square. This is the SI unit of acceleration. Or you can also write in this way, meter into second inverse 2. Means second to yate tolot square no, so it will uporot jabo, you have to write inverse, meter into second inverse 2. It means meter per second square. So this is the topic of acceleration. Means acceleration means change in velocity. If an object changes its velocity, then you can in a unit time, then you can term it as accelerated motion. Clear? So acceleration, it is change in velocity divided by time taken. Okay, so you can write this definition also. So we can discuss the accelerated motion. You will understand better by using graph. So graphical representation e mane physics or tomar enika topic bilakor eta bhal representation dekhabo, understanding jetu capacity etu bhal hobo. So first for finding acceleration, we have to draw the graph between time and the velocity. Time versus velocity. So the x-axis, horizontal axis represents time. Always the horizontal axis represents time, and this vertical axis represents velocity. Clear? Now see, I will give you six different graphs for the accelerated motion. Okay? Say this is a graph. This is one. So this is number 1. This is number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6. So all the lines represents acceleration. Okay, jiman bilak line yet ase, all the graphs represents acceleration in different states. মানে বেলেগ বেলেগ ষ্টেজত কি হৈছে বেলেগ বেলেগ এক্সিলাৰেশ্যন দেখাইছে সো লেটস সি what it explains. So number 1 graph. So ইয়াতে গ্ৰাফডাল start হৈছে ইয়াৰ পৰা. You know that this axis belongs to velocity. Okay, so this is zero velocity, initial, zero velocity. So ইফালে velocity 1 meter per second, 2 meter per second, 3 meter per second. Okay, that means the object starts from this point. It means it already has some velocity. ইয়াৰ পৰা start মানে কি হয় ইয়াতে already velocity আছে and এই গ্ৰাফডাল দেখিছে না একদম straight line. The graph is a slope. It looks like a slope. So the graph 1 explains that uniform acceleration with non-zero initial. Initial to zero no hoy, but it is uniform graph, uniform acceleration. Okay. Number 2 graph what ki hoise soa. In this number 2 graph, the time is changing. Time to go ase graph dalot, but velocity is not changing. Jodi velocity change hobo lage, the graph ki hobo hi upor phale nohole it may be upward or downward direction. Ifale move koribo. So velocity is not changing. So you can say here zero acceleration because time is changing but velocity is not changing. Zero acceleration, or you may say constant velocity. Clear? See in case of number 3, the number 3 graph, it looks like non-uniform. It change hoise, it looks like non-uniform. Aru soa it increase hoise after that decrease hobo start korise. So it is non-uniform negative acceleration. Now you should know the negative acceleration. It represents by a word that is called retardation. Negative acceleration to ki bujhay? Retardation bujhay. Okay, so negative acceleration ketia hoy? Suppose a bus driver wants to stop a bus from its moving position to rest. So bus driver jone ki koribo? The bus driver ki koribo? He brake maribo. So brake marabone tar speed decrease hol, the speed is decreasing, the velocity is decreasing. It means that acceleration is negative. Acceleration or graph to negative phale goi ase. Okay, in that case only you can say it is retardation, negative acceleration. So here you can also write non-uniform retardation. Then graph number 4, it is also uniform. It is also uniform with zero initial point. Means suppose gari ekhon start hoise, the initial velocity is zero, restor pora start dise. It means the graph 4 explains uniform acceleration. The graph 5 also explains non-uniform. See, here acceleration is increasing, velocity is increasing. It means non-uniform acceleration, positive acceleration. Then graph number 6 represents uniform retardation. Speed to komise, pura speed komi ahi ase. Sorry, pura eta mane weight aru speed to eta weight komi ahi ase. So change is fixed. That means uniform retardation. So these are the 4 different types of graph of uniform motion, of accelerated motion. So accelerated motion or a graph dal jodi tumaloke bhaldore study kora, then gutei acceleration topic to bhalke buji paba. So first, number 1, uniform acceleration with non-zero initial. Number 2, zero acceleration. Number 3, non-uniform retardation. Number 4, uniform acceleration. Number 5, non-uniform acceleration. Number 6, uniform retardation. That means negative acceleration. Clear? Now we will see some other key points. Suppose this is the graph. It is time versus velocity. Okay. Say time 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. Say velocity, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It is in second unit. So velocity in meter per second. So say velocity 2 meter per second, 4 meter per second, 6 meter per second, 8 meter per second. Okay. Suppose an object, a vehicle or any object starts from rest. Say in uniform motion. This is uniform acceleration. The slope, the O, suppose P, the OP belongs uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration. A digital graph hobo, hitale ki bujabo acceleration. OP stands for acceleration. Okay. How can you find the acceleration from this graph? So for that, you should know the trigonometry also. What is the angle between this? Say the angle is theta. You have to draw a perpendicular from this point. Suppose if there is a perpendicular from this point, okay. So PM is the perpendicular. Now how can you find the slope of this graph? You can find the slope of this graph. Say tan theta, tan of this theta. It trigonometry at the ratio hoy. Tan theta will be the perpendicular divided by base is OM. So তোমালোকে এটো এটা মনত ৰাখি নাৰাখিলেও হ'ব ক্লাস 10 ৰ trigonometry পাবা so better you can remember like say acceleration means slope of OP. Slope means what? The perpendicular of the triangle divided by base of the triangle and it represents the acceleration. Clear? Now from an accelerated motion acceleration graph, how can you find the distance কৰ পৰা পাবা so distance পাবৰ কাৰণে আমি কি কৰিম চোৱা suppose an object is moving from O to P. What is the distance? So mind it always that the area covered by the acceleration graph and between the time axis এই acceleration graph আৰু time axis ৰ মাজত যিখিনি area হ'ব that area represents the distance or displacement is the area of triangle OPM. এতিয়া মাইন্ডৰ এটা কথা আহিব পাৰে যে ডিসটেন্স বা ডিসপ্লেসমেন্টৰ ইউনিট কি হয় মিটাৰ এৰিয়াৰ ইউনিট কি হয় মিটাৰ স্কয়াৰ হাউ ক্যান ইট বি পসিবল সো এটা আমি কৰিলে গম পাম when you find the area of triangle OPM what was the area of triangle it was half into base into height PM. Suppose the object is moving from O to P. What is the time that the object takes? 4. So OM is equal to 4. 4 the unit is second. PM means what? PM is the, if you draw a line like this, PM is like this one. So PM ekhini hoy ekhini kiman hoy 0 পৰা 8. So PM is 8 the velocity meter per second. Second cancelled. 2 you can cancel 4 8 into 2 16 what is the unit meter so from the area of the triangle you can find the displacement or distance of that object so enigua theory pora acceleration to bujat easy hoy so this was the accelerated motion the theory what is the formula the graphical representation and from the graph how can you find the distance displacement from an velocity time graph means from accelerated motion okay in the next class we will again discuss the accelerated motion for different types of graph বেলেগ টাইপৰ গ্ৰাফত কেনেকুৱা হ'ব suppose এটা অবজেক্ট যদি একবাৰ ওপৰত গৈছে ইউনিফর্ম acceleration একবাৰ ৰিটাৰ্ডেশন হৈছে একবাৰ কনস্ট্যান্ট হৈছে জিৰো acceleration হৈছে in that case আমি কেনেকৈ ডিসকাস কৰিম সো হেখিনি আমি নেক্সট ক্লাসত বুজাম So, তেতিয়ালৈকে তোমালোকে এই গোটেই বস্তুখিনি ভালকে চাই লোৱা এবাৰ। Thank you.